Morning, everyone. Welcome to another PVALC live stream. As you know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and today we welcome guest Carolina Keith, who is the Executive Director of the Pink the Basin organization here in the Permian Basin. Welcome, Carolina. We're so happy to have you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you having me this morning.
Absolutely. So if you'll introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about the Pink the Basin organization.
Sure. My name is Carolina Keith. I have the honor of being the executive director of Pink the Basin. Pink the Basin is a nonprofit organization which was founded in 2012. It was founded by 12 women. These determined and passionate ladies, they previously had served on the Permian Basin Community Advisory Board of the Laura Bush Institute of Women's Health before starting Pink the Basin. The reason why they started Pink the Basin is because they wanted all the funds that were raised to stay in the Permian Basin. So all the money that is raised through Pink the Basin stays here. And the mission of the Pink the Basin is to raise awareness of women's health issues and foster educational and service initiatives that positively embrace women's health.
And so you also provide funding as well to local hospitals to pay for mammograms and ultrasounds. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, ma'am. Pink the Basin provides the Permian Basin women and men with breast cancer screenings, diagnostic services such as mammograms, ultrasounds, biopsies, and other breast imaging tests. In the past year, sadly to say, but we were able to help 2 men under the age of 40. So early detection is key. That is one of the reasons why that we do fund our local hospitals. Now, the partnering hospitals currently we are partnering with is Medical Center, Odessa Regional, Midland Health, Permian Regional Medical Center in Andrews, Reeves County Hospital District Pecos, and Scenic Mountain Medical Center Big Spring.
And so you do serve the entire Permian Basin, or
Yes.
are there certain counties that you only serve?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We have also served some of the people in New Mexico coming in from Hobbs. So, once they come into the Permian Basin, we want to serve them.
And so if a potential client needed help paying for their mammogram or ultrasound or other health-related issue, would they apply for a scholarship through the Pink the Basin, or what does that process look like?
Well, what we do here is, unfortunately, we are restricted because of HIPAA. And so we found the best way to actually get the funding to the people that need it. We give the money to the hospitals. They actually write a grant to us and indicate this is who we're going to serve, and this is what we're going to do with the money that you're going to give us. And what they do with that is then each hospital is just a little different, but it may be a 1-page application, and Midland Memorial pretty well has it spelled out. If you make between this amount and this amount, and there's this many people in your household, you qualify. It's really relatively very easy at each of the 6 partnering hospitals to get your mammogram. And then not only that, but if you are uninsured or underinsured, a lot of companies these days are having to go with a higher deductible. And so you may meet that criteria even if you do have insurance. For instance, you have each year an insurance company will pay for only one mammogram. Well, what if they found maybe they think something's there? You need a second mammogram. That comes out of your pocket. So we want to make sure that you get the services that you're needing. And so that's where Pink the Basin comes in with their funds. Kind of if somebody we don't want anybody to fall through the cracks.
Okay, perfect. So there's no excuse for people not to get tested, right? So let's talk about why it's so important to get tested, and tell us a little bit about the recommendations of when people should get tested, men and women.
That is correct. Well, your physician will let you know that you need to start at 40 years old. That has changed from years past. Years past, they indicated 45. Well, now they've dropped it to 40. There, 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer sometime in their lifetime. 1 in 1,000 men. And so what we recommend is when you start young, you can go to we suggest going to the American Radiology, and I believe they're going to put that up. You can find how to do self-exams. We are seeing more women under the age of 40 with breast cancer. If you have a mammogram and you don't, you yourself get to know your family, get to know whether there is breast cancer in your family. But that doesn't mean that if you don't have anybody in your family, you can still get breast cancer. Mammograms, what they do is it may start out as like a grain of salt, and you will not feel it, but it will show up on a mammogram. The lump, you won't be able to feel it until 2 years later, after the process has started in your body. So basically, get to know your body early. If you find something is amiss, talk to a physician, call the breast center, any of the breast centers, they will connect you to a doctor. So it's just really sad because in our local area, only 1 out of 5 women get their mammogram. So this is another thing that Pink the Basin, we want to educate. Awareness, educate. You need to do this because as a sister, mother, grandmother, what's going to happen to your family if you're not there? Also, too, what happens to your immediate family? What happens to your extended family? The community. If we can find the cancer early, you won't have to go through mastectomies, all the biopsies, and where it starts being life-threatening. So I hope
that's why early prevention is so important, and also in there's so many misconceptions about breast cancer out there, and like you mentioned, you don't necessarily have to have a family history in order for you to get breast cancer. If you say, and that's why early testing is so important, because you never know. Just because nobody in your family's ever had it doesn't mean that, unfortunately, you could be the one that gets it. And it doesn't always mean that you're going to feel a lump. When you're doing those self tests, you're not always going to feel a lump. So it's important to get your mammograms so that, because like you said, those mammograms are going to see what you don't necessarily see. So tell us what are some of the new research and advances in breast cancer or treatment options?
Well, the there are so many different things that are coming up. One big one is genetic testing. Uh, Midland Health is one in our local area. You don't have to go to MD Anderson. You don't have to go to one of the big cities anymore. We have we have the genetic testing that can be done here in this area. And Jennifer is one of the genetic nurse navigators there at Midland Health. And it's all it is. First, you do a set of questions, you know, uh, several questions. And then after the questions, if they feel like that you might need to have a talk, then Jennifer will bring you in and talk. I just think that is just wonderful. A lot of people will realize, like Angelina Jolie, she had the genetic testing. That's why she prevented by having a double mastectomy. And so the more you know, the better. Now, hopefully, in years to come, that genetic testing will be affordable. We currently don't fund for that, but if we see a need that it's going to need that we need to, then that'll be something that we'll definitely be looking into. But I understand some insurance companies will pay for it also. So don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. Call over there. You may be a candidate.
And so can you tell us a little bit what is genetic testing? What
Well,
genetic testing is?
yeah, I apologize. I'm not a doctor or anything, but basically, it's your family history. And first, the questions are, where is the breast cancer in your family? Is it on your mother's side? Is it on your dad's side? At this point, it doesn't really make a difference because it still can come down. You have the genetics of both your mom and your dad. So depending on where, of course, you're a bigger candidate if there's multiple on maybe both sides or one side, like a sister, aunt, go on from there. But it just starts with simple questions. And I think that in itself will have awareness and save lives.
What are some of the symptoms that, men and women need to be aware of that they could probably need to get this checked out a little bit?
Well, basically, a lot of times you don't even know until you have a mammogram.
Okay.
If you feel a lump, don't stop. Don't say, I'll check it next week, or I'm just so busy right now, I can wait till my next appointment. Don't wait on that. It's mainly knowing your body to see if there's any changes. Also not only your breast but your armpits and all. If there's any discoloration coming onto your breast, that could be a sign. The doctors know that if you call in and say something, they're going to get you in very quickly because they know something is not right.
And like you mentioned, don't let the financial aspect steer you away from getting that mammogram or that ultrasound, because that's what Pink the Basin organizations are here for, to help it making those more accessible to everybody.
That's right.
And so what are the current outlook for breast cancer? I mean, what are the death rates, or is it improving or not improving, or?
Well, in this area, like I said, only 1 in 5 get their mammograms, but early detection has reduced breast cancer mortality by nearly 40% in the United States since 1990. We want to see that increase.
Yeah.
Yes. And we can do that. We can, because of the generosity of many of the people in our community. I mean, we have a great community here in the Permian Basin. They are willing to help. So go go get your mammogram, because there are people here that care about you.
And so the process, as you said, is like you'll have to go through the clinic or the hospital that you're going through, but most of the hospitals have pretty easy application process
Yes.
that you just fill out and see if you qualify.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, and I don't know if you, at this point I can tell you what the community has done for the Pink the Basin. Due to the supporters like you out there, we've been able to fund 10,771 services, which has helped 7,500 community members here in the Permian Basin. There are situations to where not only will it be one service, it may be multiple service that one particular community member needs. And through the generosity of all of you out there, Pink the Basin has provided over $2.5 million worth of medical services here in the Permian Basin, and we are growing. So
Awesome.
thank you. I want to thank everybody in the Permian Basin. Thank you so much for your support.
And so, and you touch base a little bit on what are some of the other services that that potential clients could qualify for. I know, mammograms, ultrasounds, would they qualify for if they have to get chemo, that kind of thing?
Well, currently right now, what we fund is the beginning, your mammogram, your ultrasound. Sometimes that they may need to look a little deeper, so that's that ultrasound. Then the biopsy. They need to know what the next step needs to be whenever they're looking at a treatment plan. So that's where the biopsy may be. It could be from nothing to something. So that's what we fund. Unfortunately, we can't fund the surgeries at this point, but we want you to know what you can do. Now, the chemo and all, we do know that there is, especially at the bigger hospitals, government funding and other funds that are available. But we want to get you in the door first. And this is where Pink the Basin, we're the start.
Prevention is the key, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Early detection. And so how can the community get involved during Breast Cancer Awareness Month? I know we only have a few weeks left in October, but how can they get involved?
Well, like I said, we have been blessed. Unfortunately, due to COVID, we've had to cancel our annual luncheon that we've had in October the last 2 years. But we are excited to be able to let everybody know we're looking at April instead of October of next year. So that way, we want to get the ladies back in. Yes. We want to get the ladies back in, and we will be placing item, on our social media on the date. And we still want, I'm not sure if everybody knows Leanne Morgan, the comedian. She is fantastic. We want to keep her. So that's why we're looking at the April date. That's one way. Also, too, we accept any donations throughout the year. And you can go to our website, pinkthebasin.com, and give a donation in somebody's name or memory or honor. We will send information to the families on that, just saying that a donation was made. We get those quite a bit because, again, when you go to our luncheon, we have a scarf that we give to all the breast cancer survivors. It's amazing to see the sea of scarves. Some people that you would not have known, because they caught it early. And so, again, that's key.
And I know that you're also opening to visiting with different women's groups to raise awareness and share information. So if you would like Carolina to come and speak to your women's group or to help raise awareness about breast cancer, log on to the website and contact heard through there, I'm assuming.
Yes, the website, or you can always call the Pink the Basin number, which is area code 432 940 7465, or you can always email. It's info@pinkthebasin.com, and we'd love to come. We have, when we go talk to any group, men, women, we have shower cards that we give. What it is it's a shower card, and you put it in your shower, and it shows you how to do a self exam, and it has little punch buttons down at the bottom for the months. So you pick a date, one day out of the month, and maybe your birth date or an anniversary, and each month you will do a self exam during that time, so that way you can see if there's been any changes. And also, too, hopefully it's a reminder to get your mammogram every year. But we'd love to come talk. And also, too, several members of our board are breast cancer survivors, and they usually come and tell their journey.
Awesome. Are there any final comments or thoughts that you would like to leave our viewers with, Carol?
Well, again, we just want to let you know that the funds are available. Even if you talk with your doctor or the breast center, they will direct you to get those mammograms. If for some reason you have cancer in your family, start early. Just like we said, unfortunately, the doctors don't recommend unless you get your mammogram start your mammogram at 40. Some doctors also say you can stop at 75. Well, that is not, we feel, not a true statement, because people over 75 still get breast cancer. So please continue to get your mammograms even after 75. And if there's any questions or anything, please call us. We'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have.
Okay. And so the process, just make sure, if you're like, oh, you're a little concerned, I'm like, oh, there's a history of breast cancer in my family, but I just can't afford that mammogram or that, mammogram visit. Talk to the hospital you're going to, the clinic, the doctor, because there's funding available through Pink the Basin to do that. So don't be shy. Don't be shy about that. And Pink the Basin is here to help you through that process if you're a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you want to do research on your own, we actually get our information from the American College of Radiology. So please, you can go on their website, and there's on the website it shows a self-exam. That way you can print it out, have it, and or contact us. And like I said, we have the shower cards.
Perfect. Well, Carolina, it was a pleasure speaking with you today, and make sure and go and get your mammogram. And thank you again, Carolina, and we'll see everybody next time.
Oh, thank you.